Premier League match week 14.
Matchday 14.
How was your 14?
What do you mean by how it was?
How was it? How was your match day 14?
I think it was great. Exactly what I expected.
Really?
No, there was one or
okay.
two off, but yeah.
All right, we're going to start with going over some of the games, and then we'll go into the predictions for next week. But first, I want to start with Arsenal 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1. Did you watch this game?
Yeah, I had it on the background, but from what I've seen, Arsenal played amazing, and they deserve first place in the league. Other than the screw up and the back that led to the goal, I don't think if it wasn't for that, Wolves would have scored. Arsenal proper champions so far.
I mean, I wouldn't say they played great.
The first 20 minutes was amazing.
No, the first 20 minutes were great for if you're a Gunners fan. Perfect 20 minutes to start out. I would say that once when you guys got the ball out to Saka, and you guys had like a little triangle going on the right side.
Yep.
Before the goal, that was really nice to see. That was really like total football-esque. And then you guys did it on the other side, basically the same play, but like flipped. Except at the end of it, they squared it to Odegaard, who put it in for a goal. But after that, you guys kind of like got comfortable a little bit.
Okay. Keep going. What do you mean by comfortable?
Like,
you think we got sloppy?
not that you guys got sloppy, but you guys knew the game was yours. So you slowed down the game. Granted, you guys did make more chances down that left side with Martinelli, but not like how you guys were doing it when it was 0-0 or when you guys were up by 1.
Yeah.
You know?
I would say as you should slow it down. I mean, we're winning 2-0. Why not slow it down?
I mean, the reason why I said comfy is because Wolves were making opportunities, and they had a lot of opportunities, not as many as Arsenal, but there was one before halftime where there was like a little miscommunication in the background, and Hwang, he had an opportunity to get the ball before Raya, and Raya was able to get his like knee or something onto it. Very fortunate that he didn't get an opportunity to go through on goal, but it was like it was a chance for them.
Yeah.
And I think that for this team, when the second half had began, there wasn't a lot of difference in the team. Like, it still felt like Arsenal knew that the game was theirs, and that they couldn't really do much to mess it up. But again, they get more of that like comfy, like really like in the game, not worrying too much. I want to say that one thing though about Wolves is looking at their lineup and the way they went out there. It's very they almost set themselves up for failure. Because when you have 5 in the back with 2 holding midfields, which I think they had, it's very difficult to win the midfield battle at that point, especially when you're outnumbered. And basically, you're like, you're telling Cunha and Hwang, like, all right, we'll defend, but the rest is on you. Like, you like, go ahead, go out there and do something. Like, they really didn't, like, when Wolves lineups like that, like, I would prefer them to be more forward and free thinking in terms of football, rather than just staying back and with 5 in the block and having the two defending midfields stay back.
So for me, the only thing I would say to that is that Wolves, for me, is a counter-attacking team. They very much rely on wing play. Pedro Neto, Wong, and Acuna. But to put a 4-back, I mean, it's not impossible for them. But I think their identity is on a 5 or a 3-back or whatever it may be. I think they're more successful like that, having Nelson Semedo on the right, supporting the 2 strikers on top, the 2 wingers up top, and then flanking around. To change their system to a 4-back could be more direct, maybe, but I think this team is already built on a 5 or 4-back. To change it, be just too late, especially on a game like this.
It's not necessarily that I want them to change. It's more that when it felt like they were shooting themselves in the foot the way they lined up out there, especially with Arsenal. Like, they have a lot of quality in the midfield, so it's very difficult for any team to get like an advantage. So you might as well give yourself the best chance to compete, forward, right? And I didn't think that having two deep midfielders and 5 in the back. Granted, those wingers do get forward, and but they don't get forward enough, in my opinion, to help Cunha, to help Wang, to help Buena. It's very difficult for me to see that team going out there with a positive attitude when they line up with 5 at the back and it's in 2 holding midfielders.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like your personality or whatever you are, like however you see the game and how you want to attack. But for me personally, having Nuri, all these fantastic wingers, I personally would play 5 back. But I can see your point. It's just a difference of approach of game, and maybe for the what is it, manager O'Neal, Gary O'Neal, maybe he was sitting counting on getting a lucky counterattack. I don't know, but overall, I do still think Arsenal deserved the win, and they got the win. And
yeah,
shout outs to
definitely.
them.
They played. They played well, and they played like a team that was dominant. Dominant. They played dominant. I would say that.
Just say it, damn it.
Don't
fight it.
I'm not fighting it. I'm just saying they played dominant. They got comfortable a little bit. They got to be careful about getting into that. When the game just kind of flows and a little too much, like you feel like you're losing the grip of the game. I mean, it was close in the end. I'm not close enough to say that there was blood in the water, but definitely they put up a fight and they made them sweat a little bit towards the end. All right, on to the next game. Brentford 2 and Luton 1. Sorry, Brentford 3, Luton 1.
No, I didn't watch this game.
You didn't watch this game? I didn't either.
Yeah, I thought Brentford was going to win.
Yeah, this was definitely a game that I think Brentford should have won. I think I called 3-goal difference, so close on that one. But
no cigar.
Yeah. On to the next game. Burnley 5, Sheffield United 0.
No, I didn't watch this game. But like I told you last week, man, Burnley is not that bad, all right? Like I said, they're not that bad. And shout outs to them getting 5. I definitely didn't watch this game, but
I watched this game, and I didn't take notes on this game, so I'll be a little more lenient on me.
Yeah.
It's difficult for Sheffield, in my mind, for Sheffield to combat Burnley when they go down 15 seconds into the game.
Yeah.
Very, very tough. And then after they got down 2-0, it felt like the air was out the ball. Like there was no more Sheffield United. They were like clawing at everything to get back into the game. And McBurney, I think, was the guy who got a red card.
Yep. Oli McBurn. Yep.
Yep.
Did you see the foul?
Yeah,
was it a red?
It was a second. No, it was a second yellow.
Okay.
And I believe he grabbed the guy by the waist, and the ref gave him a second yellow for that.
Okay. Yeah.
I would like to say that like once that red card happened, the game was done basically. Yeah. After that, basically 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. Not a lot in that game afterwards. Not a lot of excitement either. The game we knew what the outcome of the game was at that point. So It was a little tough to get in the game in terms of a neutral.
Yeah. I'm looking at the timeline of the game, and it looked like they scored in the first minute.
Yeah, 15 seconds in, yeah.
Which is wild. And then they scored again at the 29th, and then the 45th. So you're already going on a downward slope just to get a second yellow. And the way you described it, too, another stupid person, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely expected better from Sheffield United. I still think that they're...
Why?
Because I think...
No, I'm saying, like, why McBurney? Why?
I mean, again, it can happen to anyone. We'll talk about it later with Chelsea. They have their
exactly.
their moments.
Just why?
But on to the next game, we got Nottingham Forest 0, Everton 1.
Yeah, I did watch this one.
I watched this one too.
Nottingham, I want to start off by saying Nottingham is 1 win in 9 games, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, do you think that Steve Cooper's seat you think is in trouble, or because I don't think they're
1 in 9? I think you should start to wonder. Maybe.
I mean, you can wonder, but
If all right, I say 1-12, you're in trouble. But 1-9, you're still right there.
1-12 is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, but
1-9
really,
is
that's just
pretty
3
crazy
games.
too.
Yeah, exactly. That's just 3-game difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult for me to see that this team would be in a better place if they had a better manager. It's just difficult because this team doesn't have a lot in terms of, I mean, I don't want to say talent because the players are talented. They play in the Premier League, and they're professionals. But there's a gap. There's a gap definitely between Forest, Everton, and the lower league, the lower half of the table. And then there's of course the people who are just promoted. Then there's like they're below them.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to see like if another coach would really help because they just don't have enough in terms of going forward. But for Everton, McNeil, he got the goal. I was talking to my brother and he said that he thought that Beto was going to score, and I said that McNeil would probably score because he takes the most shots, and he probably would be like the guy to take the most selfish shots and would be a little more.
Yeah. No, for me it was
a little trigger happy with the shots.
For me, Everton's really missing Calvert-Lewin because it was
speaking to the mic.
If it was up to me, I would say that Everton's really missing Calvert-Lewin. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Yeah, I said his name right. Why am I tripping? But they're really missing him because some of the shots that Beto missed should have been like bangers. He should have had 2 or 3 goals straight out from the bat, but he didn't score. It was proper end-to-end stuff. I think second half Everton was dominant, and on top of that, I think Everton should feel robbed. I mean, not Everton. Nottingham Forest should have felt robbed because they did have 1 or 2 chances to equalize. Maybe not to win, but to equalize. But overall, I think Everton's really missing Calvert-Lewin. Like Beto, he was out of form or he's not there yet, but he missed so many shots that he could have scored. Like Everton could have won this game like 2 or 3 or 4.
No, I don't think it's that he's out of form. I think it's just he's new to the Premier League. So
yeah, that's true.
That can be something. Not every. I mean, it's been seen in the past where strikers come in and they need a year to adjust.
Yeah, Nunez. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. So on to the next game. We'll go Newcastle 1, Manchester United 0. Did you watch this game?
Newcastle 1, Manchester United 0. I think we watched it on the call together, no?
Yeah, we watched it together, and then I rewatched it to get some notes.
Yeah. That should have been my take on it. I should have done that.
I want to ask you first though: is that the law self handball thing that he did? Is that a penalty?
For me, no.
Are you sure?
I don't think it's a penalty. I wouldn't give it. There's no way. First off, it hit his chest and then his hand.
Into the mic, please.
Yeah, what the heck? You want me to kiss it? But it hit I think it hit his stomach or his chest, and then it hit his hand.
Yeah, it hit his stomach, and then he kicked it into his hand.
Exactly, and on top of that, they were so close, so reaction time is not even there. His hand, in my opinion, I know people disagree, is not in an unnatural position. In my opinion, I don't think so.
I mean, I can see how it's in a natural position. I can see that.
So for me, I wouldn't give it a penalty. It was very harsh to give it a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little in the gray area. I don't know whether it's a penalty. I'm leaning more towards it's not, but because it's not a goal scoring chance, and he was just trying to clear the ball or whatever. So it's not like it's anything. I mean, we've seen penalties be given for less, and I'm talking about the Newcastle Champions League, that I mean, there's a whole conversation. That's a whole nother conversation, right? But Man United, back to the game. Man United, they let Newcastle hold the ball a lot. They really I think the United had like 16% possession through the first 20 minutes or something like that. Some very, very crazy stat. And but Newcastle were finding space behind the fullbacks like crazy. And I don't know if it's a thing where Ten Hag is allowing that to happen so that the fullbacks can press, but Newcastle were finding that a lot. Like they were long ball over the top, or they were doing the little triangles and pulling out the fullback and then just playing in that space. So it's very difficult.
Well, it goes more to what you said. I think the other game is Wolves game is like you set yourself up for failure because first off, Shaw at center back. That is never going to be my take. I would never, ever put Shaw on center back. I know that it worked in the past and that he performed good, but yeah, he's not a natural center back, you know. So you're already setting yourself for failure. On top of that, you're not even putting Hoyland. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what Ten Hag is doing, man. At this point, I really don't know.
There are injuries in the squad.
Yeah, but Hoyland could have played.
Hoyland, he could have started. That is true.
He could have started.
Newcastle did keep the ball in their half.
Sergio Reguilon could have played too.
I think he was subbed on.
He was subbed on, but I don't know why not start him.
That's what Ten Hag wants, apparently.
All the decisions point to Ten Hag. I don't know what.
I mean, we could blame.
I don't know.
We can blame Ten Hag and we can blame United, right? Because let's be honest, 30 minutes in, Fernandes, Rashford, Martial, Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, they barely had a pulse. Like, barely anything was going through them. Bruno would get the ball and he would give it up as soon as he got it. But really, I think United needed him to take the ball forward and be more progressive with his football and his attacking. But let's be fair. Let's give it to Newcastle because Newcastle they kept the ball in their half. They were conducting a very good press on them.
Yeah.
And they were not allowing them to leave their half without them, without some sort of cut, some sort of blood. Like United had to give up something in order to get past that Newcastle press. And that's, I don't want to blame United. And there were some things that United did that I didn't like when they cleared the ball, instead of pushing forward like a spring, so that you can have people around the ball, they just stayed in their low block.
Yeah.
And that was not, again, setting yourself up for failure. That you can't stay in that. Once you clear the ball, you got to follow it out so that your team can get back into the form that it's not so compressed, and that you guys can actually have people, around the ball and actually affecting the play. So
I think that falls on the management still. Everything you just said falls on the management.
Yes, but I still would like to be very, very upfront about how I think that Newcastle played this game amazing.
No, for sure, yeah.
And that I was very baffled that it was 0-0 at halftime. I was extremely United are getting lucky, man. If they pull this one out, they're really gonna enjoy this one because they didn't deserve much. And in terms of this game, right? I don't think this game is a reality check for United.
Oh no, me either. No.
Only because I equate this game to tripping down the stairs, right? I equate this game to tripping down the stairs, right? This game is okay. I just tripped on my laces, right? Boom, and I'm about to fall. I see myself, I'm about to fall, right? Okay, so I looked at the next games that United play, right? The real damage of this fall will be when they play Chelsea, when they play Liverpool, when they play Villa, and oh yeah, there's a Bayern game in between. That's gonna be them falling down the stairs. A must win
too, yeah.
That is gonna be the rock bottom. This is not rock bottom because Newcastle could have put 3 or 4 past them and they got away with 1-0. So I don't think that this is the worst it'll get. I think it'll get a little worse for United, especially with the amount of games and the quality of games that are coming up.
Yeah. He said falling downstairs, yo.
No, because that's the thing
it's when you slip and you try to catch yourself, but you're still going.
Yeah. But there's no chance of catching yourself. It's destined. Because United have a chance, right? Because Newcastle is a very formidable opponent, I would say, and Newcastle is a team that I would say that they can compare themselves to. The games before that they've been, before this, they have been against lower table sides.
Yeah. So this is the test.
Teams that they should have been beating.
Yeah.
So their schedule has been pretty favorable. They've had a bunch of lower table teams games back to back. So it'll be interesting to see how they react to this, because I don't think that they deserve to be anywhere near the game in Newcastle. I think that Newcastle played them out the building. I think that They didn't. They looked like they were uninterested for the majority of the match, if not all the match. I don't see much for this team in terms of things coming up because, again, it was I think they were 5th and 6th, right? Villa's right there, so they could potentially fall even more. Like they play West Ham. West Ham is near them. They could fall even more.
They play Aston, West Ham,
Liverpool.
Bayern, Liverpool,
Yep.
Chelsea, and then Bournemouth. Yeah, so all the way up until the new year, just before.
So they have a chance to be down like 2 or 3 places and just before the end of the year. So it's very like it's the potential for chaos is grave with this one. Like there's an opportunity that this team can just implode on itself.
We're gonna have to see. That is actually very interesting and a good point, because I don't know how they're gonna do against West Ham or especially Aston Villa in the form.
Bro, I don't know how they're gonna do against us. Like I
wasn't even counting that because that's...
I get that we don't finish our chances, but man, we create some chances
for sure.
United is you're just on a roller coaster, up and down. You never know what you're gonna get. So it'll be interesting. That game will be very, very interesting for me. I'll definitely be watching it. I mean, I watch most Liverpool games, but I will definitely be watching that one with a little more eagerness to see how they react to that. Anything else about that game you want to add?
No, not really.
On to the next game. Chelsea 3, Brighton 2.
Chelsea 3, Brighton 2. I actually seen the game. Did you see the game?
Yes, I watched this game. Yeah.
So it was good. I want to start off to saying Gallagher is dumb. Like, I don't know why I make that decision, that choice. I don't understand why players that are on yellow do these stupid tackles early on in the game. You know what I mean? To get yourself a yellow and then to get another red. To me, I personally don't understand it, but whatever, it's football. They play in the high level. I don't. Another thing to me is I also don't think this was a penalty.
No. Don't even start with that. Oh, I don't. No, I'm talking about. Don't start with that. Oh, I don't play in the. No.
No, I don't. But that's still my take. I don't.
It doesn't matter though.
I don't see why. Why get a second yellow? That's stupidly.
I get what you're saying, but you're bringing an analysis to the game, and obviously you have an experience with the game. You've played the game before, and you have experience with the team sport. I feel like that gives you the right to make
to say, it's stupid. Then I'll say it's stupid. The difference between the two teams for me, even before the red card, was the attack. I think Chelsea's attack was a little more better than Brighton's.
I think they both sucked.
But that's why it's a little better. It was both below par, but it was a little better because Sterling was having an amazing game. I think if Sterling, the very first half was all Sterling. If you can get Sterling in tempo and in form,
I think
Chelsea team would be a whole different.
I think the whole team had a very strong start. Yeah. Not just Sterling. I think that the whole team started off very strong,
If I had to pick a focal point, I would pick Sterling in this game.
Yeah, I would say, he had the ball for a lot. For the beginning, yeah.
If you can get him in form and in tempo, I think this Chelsea team would be different. Brighton ended up coming back to the game, but it was a little too late. A lot of teams do that, especially when you get a red card. Teams tend to shut down, like I keep saying. So they got that one goal back, yes, but it was, not. It wasn't enough. On top of that, I don't think it was a penalty. I don't know about you, but I don't think that was the penalty.
With James Milner?
Yeah.
I don't think that was a... I mean,
I don't think so at all.
Wait. I have it written here. If the Chelsea penalty is valid. I said the penalty...
I say no.
I said the penalty was valid.
Why?
Because both... The commentator, he was talking a lot about the upper body contact, right? But I saw that, granted, they were both going for the ball.
For the ball, yeah.
He was like, oh, his right foot is not, he's not kicking out his right foot, but his right foot to me did kind of get in Mudryk's way and then cause his, I think his right foot to clip on his left leg going forward, and then they both fall. Again, it's one of those things where you make the referee make the decision, and when you play like that, you kind of deserve to get burned.
So my question to you is, where is this clear? What does clear and obvious mean to you?
clear and obvious.
Yeah, because you're supposed to check if it's clear and obvious, no?
I mean, was it? It was a VAR check, no?
Yeah.
Yes, it was a VAR check. They spent a long time on the VAR check.
But I thought to get to VAR, it has to be something clear and obvious mistake.
Well, I believe the reason why they got to VAR was because the goalkeeper was receiving treatment. So they said, "Hey, you should look at this."
And while he's receiving treatment or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, me personally, I think it's very harsh to give a
No,
yellow.
it's definitely it can be.
I mean, to give a pen.
I think it would be like a very strict penalty to give.
Yeah.
But I think that I can see how they would classify it as a penalty.
It's definitely a gray area, and it's just something that has been happening not this year, last year, and a few years ago. I think it's something that they should change the rule on, or make it more distinguished.
Clear.
Exactly.
Clear.
They've done a whole bunch of other things. It's like, why haven't you made this very clear? And that's something that the FIFA, the government, whatever, needs to make a rule on, because it's, I don't know.
But yeah, back to the game. I think Brighton just couldn't deal with Chelsea set pieces. Both the goals, the opening goals that they conceded,
the headers, yep.
They were both from, believe, cross or corners. Yeah, both off corners. That were just headed back across, and then they got a free header.
Yeah.
Again,
it was good that you said that, because I wanted to make a point too. It was just, another stupid decision by last week by Dunk getting the red card. I think if Dunk was in this team,
it'd be a different result.
Yeah, for sure. He's a leader that they needed, especially aerial threat, but let alone that, there's a leader that they needed in the back. So the fact that the two goals came like they did, almost identical, they chipped it in the back post and, just scored two openly headers, like free headers. Not free, but it's almost seemed uncontested,
Yeah,
but
might as well be.
Exactly.
But Chelsea didn't create too much from open play either, which was a little... I mean, I was watching this game and I was kind of expecting more. It kind of felt like, not that the intense, but like more anticipation. It was like building up, but nothing really happened. Like they didn't get any goals from open play. And then Brighton started getting more possession, and then they started working their way into the game a little bit more, with pressing as well. I think their press was, it was a basic press, but it was more than what Chelsea was doing. So, Chelsea, they go 10 minutes without a shot on goal. Like, again, they slow down the pace of play once they go 2-0, and then it's just, at that point, you're just playing with fire. Granted, I do think that this is a game that Brighton lost rather than Chelsea won. But I think that, Brighton, if like you said, if Dunk was there, it could have been a different story. And Brighton, with considering what had happened, them going down 2-0, them getting back in the game, and them putting up a fight, I think that, not that De Zerbi will be okay with that, but it's more positive that they were able to do that.
Yeah, so, positive outlook on what happened.
Yeah, and again, just I would like to give a shout out to Buenanote. His goal was pretty good.
Really good. Yeah, heck yeah. Yep.
His goal is pretty good, so that takes care of that game. Chelsea versus Brighton. Anything else you want to say about that game?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right, we'll go on to Liverpool versus Fulham.
So I'm gonna just be honest. I had this, and I had some incidents happen around me, so I didn't really focus on this game.
Hey, don't even worry about it.
But yeah, from what I saw though, from the bits and pieces, I'm like I said, take it with a grain of salt because I didn't watch it through and through. I thought Liverpool was lucky to win. And on top of that, the goal that they made, I thought it was a foul. These are the two key points I remember. I think they were lucky to win, and I also did think it was a foul because he threw himself for the header, turned his whole back, had no eye on the ball, and just like literally just threw his body at it. And I think it was a foul, but the ref didn't call it, so they got the goal. But other than that, I think Liverpool, from what I've seen, got lucky with the win.
I mean, you can call it lucky. I call it vintage Liverpool. Like that's how the team is. They just leave it for the last minute. I hate how this team does that a lot. We go down first, we concede first. Granted, we didn't concede first this game, but we always we put ourselves behind the 8 ball before we actually do something. And it's frustrating because the way that this team responded to being 2-3 down is the way I think they could play for the whole 90 minutes. But they decide to I'm not saying, you know what, I'm going to say it, play down to their competition, right? I think that, it was a slow start for the game, and Matip had a bad pass to go, and he had a bad pass forward into the midfield that was taken, and then they counterattack and they score off of that. Even when Liverpool had control, Fulham were still trying to go forward. So it was a good game as a Liverpool fan. It was a good game to see because it was closer than it was entertaining. It was closer than it had to be.
Facts.
But it was very entertaining to me.
So when you say vintage, you just mean vintage in the fact of that happens every day. But this is not a vintage as an identity, right? Because if you say that, then
I mean,
that's
okay,
another,
no.
What do you mean by vintage?
But vintage Liverpool means that's the classic Liverpool, man. Just
so you're talking
leaving
about
it late.
you're just talking about. So how far back are we going?
This is identity.
That's crazy.
I'm just because that is how
that's crazy.
That is how Liverpool are kind of do their football. Like, it feels like, as a fan, it feels like they could be giving more on the field until they go down, and now they're giving their all. Like for instance, when they went down 2-3, right, and Endo was subbed on and he got his goal, right? Before that, we were pressing and we were giving like a lot of different pressure on the field, like left side pressure, left side or right side pressure. If the ball goes into the midfield, collapse. So we were doing a lot of that, and after we had gone down, but I feel like we could have done that before that. Like, let's say, okay, so McAllister, I want to say before I go on to the next point, McAllister with his goal was great goal. I had a big ass grin on my ugly ass face for like mad long. That, like, I was just smiling the whole time because I was just like, yo, that's a banger.
Yeah.
That's an absolute banger, right? But after he scored and it was 2-1, Fulham again, they get a corner and then they score off the corner, and they get a little lucky with that. But I give them that because they played so well. Again, coming out of halftime, it was more of the same, very tight game.
I believe that free kick too was amazing too.
Well, Trent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that was great.
It was great,
especially coming on the right.
The reason why it's not
Beautiful.
my goal of the week is because it comes off the goalie's back, and I think they gave it as an own goal.
Yeah.
But again, great, wonderful strike. Reminds me of Trippier, and his free kick that hit the bar. But I want to say something to Darwin Nunez specifically. I'm gonna look in the camera for this one. Bro, you got to finish your chances. You have to. We could have been up by 3. We could have been up by 3. He missed so many chances by just scuffing the shot or being offside. Like, I like Darwin Nunez. I think that he has a lot of potential. He has a great future at the club, but he needs to iron out those things now. Because if we're gonna be a top 5 team in Europe, we need him to be at his best and to take those, I don't want to say schoolyard things out of there, because offsides happen and scheming and all that type of jazz.
Yeah.
But I need Darwin to be more. I need him to be more gritty. I need him to be more aggressive. I need him to be more critical in those moments. Because if he's not, granted, Salah has his moments where he'll take the ball and he'll be like, it's my way or the highway. Luis Diaz has his moments where he does that, but Darwin, Gakpo as well. But we need Darwin Nunez to do that because he's our striker. He's the main guy.
Yeah.
And if he's that guy and he's taking up the defensive attention, then that opens up the door for Salah, and that opens up the door for Luis Diaz.
Yeah.
And that opens up the door for McAllister and for Jota and for everybody else. For everybody else. If they're too focused on Darwin, it literally helps the rest of the team. So we need him to be at his top of the game, because him missing those opportunities and being offside is just such a letdown. And so, like, especially in like when we were tied and it was just like, man, like, you can't catch a break. you know?
So being a Liverpool fan and it being 4-3, and obviously the game was close. Do you think that if you as a fan, do you think it's something that you should be like, yeah, we got a game, it was happy, it was well deserved, or do you think like maybe there's some key areas that we need to work on?
Well, I'll be honest. When we went down 2-3, and Endo came on and he scored, I knew that we were gonna win the game. I had a feeling that we were gonna win the game. Again, I hate how I know how my team works. Like, it's annoying. I know my team can play like that all the time, and it's annoying. It's annoying, to be honest. In terms of a win that is this a win that I look at with rose colored glasses, like positively?
Yeah.
No, not really. Am I souped we got the win? Yeah. But I realize that there's still problems with the way that we're going about things right now.
Yeah. But you still think, let's say you guys are title contenders this year, or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
You still think so?
Yeah.
All right.
Especially with how tight things are now and how City is leaving some points on the table. I think that we could be title contenders. I think that City is leaving the door open for a lot of teams to be title contenders that wouldn't normally be.
Yep.
I'm not saying Spurs are, but they were top of the table for a while. Liverpool were right there. Arsenal were right there. I'm not saying that they're not close to City, but I'm saying that, City's opening the door a little bit for them to have their run at the title.
Yeah. All right. Really?
So on to the next game. West Ham won, Crystal Palace won. Did you watch this game?
Absolutely not.
I watched this game and I regret watching this game. Boring game. I'm gonna be honest. Boring game.
West Ham. Oh, you said Crystal and
West Ham and Crystal Palace 1-1. Boring game. I would say if you're gonna watch this, don't.
It's crazy because I actually, like, looking at it, I thought it'd be entertaining.
I thought it would be entertaining
on
too
paper,
until I watched the game.
It was really that bad.
It's just a lot of not mediocrity, like mundaneness. It's a very mundane game. Not a lot going on.
So 1-1, just a fair result.
Fair result. I mean, on to the next game. Bournemouth 2, Aston Villa 2. Did you watch this one?
No.
I didn't watch this one, and I'm going to watch the replay because apparently Villa were up 2-1, and then they came back late.
Yeah.
So I have to catch that game because I'm really interested to see how they did it. Because this is a game that I thought Villa were going to win comfortably. Okay, so on to the magnum opus, the big game. City, Magnum opus.
What is that?
It's like the grandiose.
No, is that a phrase or something?
Yeah.
From what?
I think it's Latin.
Oh, no, I never heard that in my life.
All right, so Manchester City 3, Tottenham 3.
Yeah.
Did you watch this game?
Of course. I think we didn't watch it in call?
We did not watch this in the call.
No, I thought we did. But I want to start off with a couple facts that I found interesting. That Man City lost more games to Tottenham than any other team in the Premier League. I found that actually to be a very interesting fact. I did not know that.
Is that since 91, since like the beginning of the Premier League? Or?
I would say yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's actually a very interesting stat because out of everyone, I did not think it would be Spurs.
Who'd you think it would be?
Honestly, maybe a Man U, a Liverpool, or Arsenal.
Okay. All right.
And maybe not even Arsenal. I'm being generous because,
All right, on to the game. What'd you take from this game?
This was a very good game.
Both teams started really well.
They started off really well. And all right, so I don't want to bring Manchester United back into this, all right, but I will because...
Into the mic.
I'm going to bring them back because I will because, like we said before, like I did not see the identity of Ten Hag, right? But yet we see Postecoglou that's been here for not even 1 year and how he's adapting a high line, how he's getting performance out of these players, He's actually doing good. Like I said before, and I'm going to say now, I don't think he's the man for the job, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the game. I think Tottenham 3-3 was a pretty fair result. I don't think anybody should have got the complete 3 points. It was very good. If anything, Tottenham were more clinical with their chances. Haaland did scuff a lot of chances, or he had that one that was scuffed, and yeah, you scuff your chances, you don't win. Doku played amazing. He hit off that post. I don't know if you seen that.
That was like
pretty
one of
amazing,
the one of the better could have been goals of the week.
Exactly. If that was, I think that would have been my goal of the week.
We should do that as a segment. What could have been?
Could have been.
Yeah, I feel like that would be like a top contender this season.
Of the season, wow.
Well, okay. Well, maybe I'm not thinking deep enough, but that would be up there in terms of shots, cut in, hit off both posts, and
yeah. No, that could be one. I'm down for it. But yeah, like I said, Spurs has always been great on the counterattack. I always think so. And they were just clinical with their chances, and they got 3 goals. I think maybe Man City should have won, but this result was fair.
I think City should have won.
They should have won.
They should have won.
Fair.
And I'm not saying this like lightly, but City lacked teeth. Like, they lacked aggression, which is crazy to say because they scored 3 goals, and it's crazy to say that. But Haaland left some goals on the table.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He left some sitters on the table. Both teams played well. City created chances, and Spurs, they scored on their first or second attack. Great goal from Son. Great team play. Build up on a counterattack. And after Foden made it 2-1 though, because Son had scored a own goal.
Own goal, yeah.
City just had control until the 69th-ish minute, where Lo Celso just he puts it into the bottom left corner. Again, a lapse in concentration for City, which I'm not saying is something to expect, but it was a little surprising at first. But for me, I have it written down here that like concentration is the name of the game for this game anyway. Yeah. It was the name of the game because Tottenham were aggressive. For the header was Kulusevski, right? Let me right here. Give me a second. Before I get into the header, Kulusevski, I wanted to talk about.
I wanted to say something before you ask a question. It's kind
ahead.
of a point. So another point I wanted to make too was that Tottenham. I mean, watching them play kind of reminded me of Arsenal of last season, because Arsenal last season, although they played good, they were in first place for majority of the time. Sometimes they lacked some some of the key players made I want to say poor decisions. I think Kulusevski was one of them sometimes, or the other American, Brendan Johnson. Some of the decision makings of these players were poor or below par, and I think it reminded me of Arsenal last season, because I think that's why I don't think they'll be title contenders. Maybe hit top 4, but I don't think they'll be title contenders this year. It's because these decision making is not there, and I think next season they'll be even better and cement the team, obviously. But I think that watching them play reminded me of Arsenal last season, because they're up top, but they're just not quite there yet.
Yeah, they're just not experienced in that situation.
Exactly. So
definitely. I to piggyback off of your idea. To give an example, Bazuma, right? He was playing with the ball in the back, right, and he gives up the ball. And I think Roger gives it to Haaland, and he squares it, and he allows a 3-2.
3-2, yep.
And that was very interesting to me, because the halftime show, they were talking, Tim Howard and Robbie Earl, I think. Yeah. They were talking about how they were playing around in the back a little too much, and Postecoglou would probably be telling them hey, calm down with the playing around in the back. Chill out with the no look passes, the behind the back heel and all that. And Bazuma goes and he does this and he gives up the lead. Yep. I will say that credit to Spurs for staying very resilient.
You wanted to ask me something, sorry.
No, it was fine. I was just going to talk about Kulusevski and how they were resilient, and that run that he had to get that header on the ball was like a 30-ish yard run, where he's just busting the gut to get to it before Ake, and that just shows the persistence of the team. I think that run just kind of shows how they kind of see the game. But City, a call from the referee who didn't let play on.
Oh yeah, Holland.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
was
was
pissed.
for me anyway. That was a big thing for me because I want to get your perspective on it.
My perspective is, like I said, these. I actually put that on my whole list of bad referee decisions. Even though this wasn't, well, it was technically a decision. I think those very. If I was Man City, I feel robbed. Because that was a clear, like, I think obviously we don't know if he was going to score or not,
But he was an on
that
goal.
was a clear goal. Yeah, exactly. Goal opportunity. So I don't know what that ref was thinking. I don't know what his reasoning behind it. It looked like he was gonna get played on, and then he saw, like, I don't know. I don't want to put words or speak for a person, but it looked like he was gonna let it on, and then he just stopped it once it was over the top and he was in on goal. So I really don't know. I'm curious to see what he says about it, if he says anything about it on.
Well, the referee commission, they're probably going to release a statement about it. I think they would probably release a statement. I mean, it's a day after the incident.
Yeah.
So it's been quiet. They haven't said anything.
I don't
but
think they'll say anything.
I mean, if they're
It's very poor. This
but
situation.
they've been very vocal this season about their mistakes.
Yeah.
Though, so I would like to see.
Except for Liverpool.
No, they made a statement about that.
And what did they say?
They said no. They didn't say they were wrong, but they
Exactly.
said
That's
there
not.
was
That's
no.
just.
Okay,
That's
you're
not vocal.
Oh yeah, it's just.
I want accountability.
It's more corporate bullshit. Okay.
If anything, that right there sums up what referees like. If I were to look at that incident, that just sums up all referees throughout the season. Like, just garbage, unclear, unsure, stupid decisions, and I want accountability.
Look, I think that you can blame the ref for that, right? And I think that City fans, they can be mad at that. Like, they have the right to, but in my opinion, like, the reality is they put themselves in that position to have that call mean a lot. Because by that,
I see what you're saying.
By that, I mean, those chances that Holland missed, those chances is Man City taking the game into their own hands. By them not taking their chances, by them taking those stupid shots outside the box with no chance to go through, by them not scoring, they're literally putting the game in the referee's hands.
Yeah.
Like, they're putting themselves in a position where that call means a lot. And I'm not saying that they're bad or whatever, or they're not performing like normal, but City, they used to pass teams to death, right? And then it would kind of, teams would kind of give up. We're seeing a lot more teams go out swinging, and City not really responding too well to that. Them thinking that, or to me, they look like they lose the concentration for a quick second, and then they allow a goal.
Yeah.
It's happened with Wolves. In their last, sorry to bring up Wolves every freaking time. But,
No.
in their last 3 games, they've dropped 6 points.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they haven't. I'm pretty sure they've dropped more points in the opening part of the season than they did in. Did they lose the majority? I'll have to check that, but 6 points in 3 games is a lot for City.
Yeah, no one ever. That's unheard of. It is crazy. But the only thing I would say about your point is, yeah, they put the game in the ref's hands, but a bad decision is still a bad decision, whether I play good or whether I play bad.
Yes, right. I do believe that like a bad decision is a bad decision. But
whether I play.
But I'll raise you one to that, right? If they were up 5-3, that free kick would just be them running out the clock.
Interesting. I mean, I see what you're saying. I don't know if I necessarily agree, because I think they would have got a goal over there. They wouldn't just run to the corner flag. I don't think so. But
no, I'm saying that if they were up 5-3 and the ball was brought back, they wouldn't care, and they just run the clock out.
I thought you meant the other way around.
They just run the clock out.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I see your point there. I see your point there for sure. Yeah, but I do think it's going to be interesting for Man City, because, like you said, they said out of 3 games they only have 6 points.
out of 3 games they have 3 points, dropped 6 points.
6 points, exactly. And with that, it's going to be interesting because now they don't have the likes of Grealish or Rodri, and they still don't have, and they still have the injury problem that they have. So it's going to be interesting what they're going to do next game, because this is to some teams, their results, would be positive, but for Man City, this is below par. So I want to see how they're going to perform, because right now they're not performing at all. They're not performing as a first place team should. You know what I mean? As they did in the past.
What do you think is the problem with City then?
I don't know. I really don't know. I would say I'm not going to put it in the injury of De Bruyne.
I mean,
I could, but I'm not going to put that much hype onto one man. They did lose Gundogan.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just a restructuring in that midfield that needs to be, because they did put Akanji like how Stones is, up top, sitting behind the defenders, kind of like a defensive mid. And I don't know if he's comfortable with that position, but I would just say maybe the rearrangement of the midfield more towards, the defensive and the holding part. I would say maybe that's the problem, the issue, but I can't just put my hand on it yet. I really don't know.
Yeah, that's three draws in a row for City, and Spurs, they break a 3-game losing streak. What does that mean for Spurs?
That means everything. That's just, if anything, if I am Spurs and I beat the league leaders, the current champions, holding champions.
I mean, they weren't the league leaders at.
I'm saying as in the former champs, they're the current champions of Premier League.
The reigning champs.
Exactly, the treble-winning team. I'm going to be over the moon, man. I'm going to be excited. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be performing. Heck yeah. This is dubs for Tottenham. They can only go up from here, if anything.
Yeah, very positive to see that.
My
team.
morale is just...
Yeah, I think we both were very... We both didn't want to see Tottenham lose 4 games in a row.
Yeah.
Last week. So it's very nice that they can actually, come out with a result that they're proud of, and that, that most people who watch football, neutrals, they'd be proud of too, to be like, they put on a really good game. So that takes care of match day 14. Let's go on to match day 15 and give our predictions.
Alrighty.
All right. And basically we're going to give win. We'll give draws this week too.
Draws? All
Wins,
right,
draws, losses, and we'll pick sides. So pick one of the 3.
Okay.
All right. Wolves and Burnley. Who you got?
Wolves.
Okay, I got Wolves as well.
Can easily see a draw, but I'm going Wolves.
You can see a draw. I mean, yeah, it would be. Yeah, okay, yeah, I can see a draw on that one. I'm going Wolves still though.
Yeah.
Luton and Arsenal. I got Arsenal.
Arsenal, yeah.
Blowout.
Yep.
Sheffield and Liverpool. I got Liverpool.
Liverpool blowout as well.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, man. I need that. Fulham and Forest.
I'm going draw.
Draw.
Yep.
Palace and Bournemouth. I'm going draw for this one.
Yeah, I really don't care. But I'm gonna go.
Couldn't be bothered.
We couldn't be bothered. I'm going Palace.
All right. I'm going for next game, Brighton, Brentford. I'm gonna go with tie. I'm gonna go 2-2.
Tie. I think this is gonna be a good game.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Who do I go for? Tie. I really can't pick.
We're just gonna pick ties now.
Tie, the whole thing, yeah.
Man United and Chelsea. Who you got?
This one be a good game too. I'm picking.
Give me United.
United. Aston Villa, Man City.
I'm rethinking my whole thing about United.
Oh, you think so? Actually, think about it. Yeah, go ahead. Think about how Chelsea performed like this last week.
Yeah, but United can't defend set plays either.
They're gonna be. Yeah, I mean that's true too. But then again, who's the aerial threat? Thiago Silva. They're gonna be without.
Who's the aerial threat against Brighton?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but like they're gonna be without Gallagher.
They might play better. I'm gonna go Chelsea with this one.
I'm gonna go Man U.
I'm gonna go Chelsea.
I'm gonna go Man U.
Aston Villa and City. Who you got?
This one's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be another upset draw.
Draw.
Yes.
Bruh.
Yes. They
four draws in a row.
4 draws in a row. They're not playing with Rodri. They don't have Grealish. I don't know if Doku can last the full 90 just yet. I'm going draw.
Interesting.
And I don't even think they have the other defender, whatever, the moment with the G.
Vardiol.
Vardiol, yeah. I don't think they even have him, but I'm not sure on that. I think draw.
I'm going City. City win.
Yep.
Everton, Newcastle, who you got?
Newcastle. 3-1.
Give me Everton.
Come again?
The boys in blue. Give me the boys in blue.
Wow.
You
Tottenham.
got Tottenham for Tottenham and West Ham.
Yeah. Tottenham, West Ham for sure. Goal of the week. Who do you have,
Tottenham,
by the way?
I'm going Tottenham on that. My goal of the week is McAllister.
McAllister?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Aubameyang. That little bicycle he had. What? That you don't think that's valid?
No, it's valid. It's your choice for goal of the week. That's.
And then if I want to, I think my second shout out would be Çalhanoğlu.
No.
It'd be Çalhanoğlu for sure.
No. You don't get a second shout out. That's not how it works.
I'm saying if. That's not my second.
We don't work with ifs.
All right. Çalhanoğlu if not.
No. I just said no ifs. So what do you think about, well, we're going to end the podcast fairly soon, but I also want to talk about how you're feeling about the games coming up. They're back-to-back, middle of the week. Very, very tough time of the season.
Well, so honestly speaking, if I'm thinking of a fan, I don't give a damn. I want to see as much football as I can. I wouldn't care. I understand it's the family season. You want to be with your family. But as a fan, the more games, the merrier. And as a business person, if I was thinking like that, more money. But I do think it is a bit harsh. I think they should relax on the games. As like Mia felt, and I think they should relax in the game because there's no need to be playing back-to-back each season. You know, playing Wednesday and then playing Saturday. Then on top of that, you have a Champions League next week. I think it's kind of a force.
Yeah,
stretch.
I think they're playing every 3 days for like the next 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah, pretty much. But for me, as a fan of football, I don't care. Give me.
Of course you don't.
Run until your legs drop. I don't care.
All right. Anything else you'd like to talk about before the end of the podcast?
No, that's about it. No, I mean, how's Europa League going?
I don't watch Europa League.
Not even your team, Liverpool.
I don't watch Europa. Honestly, I'll be honest, right? I was watching Europa League. I was watching the game.
I don't watch Europa League, but I was watching it.
Let me finish. I was watching the game before Liverpool and Lask, I think they're playing. I forgot what game. But fairly entertaining game.
I did have a question though.
What's up?
So, are you taking Posh or are you taking Ten Hag?
You said what?
You taking Posh the Koglu or are you taking Eric?
Oh, I thought you meant Pochettino.
No. He's established. Or are you picking Ten Hag?
I was watching Sporting in Atlanta.
I didn't watch the game. That's one that I missed.
That was the game I was watching.
What was the score?
1-1. What do you mean, damn?
Damn, yo. I want Sporting to win, damn it.
Yeah.
Of course, y'all want Portuguese to do better. Yeah, heck yeah. But what's it called? Who are you picking? Ten Hag or are you picking Posh the Koglu? And I have a second follow-up. The first answer.
Postecoglou.
You would. All right. Now to follow up that question, if you was Man U, right, and you was the owner of the club, would you sack him?
That club is messed up from top to bottom.
I said you.
Okay, so I'm the owner of United.
Yes. Sporting director, whatever you want to call it. You're the owner. You make.
No, there's a difference between sporting director and owner.
Okay, so if you're the owner, who do you?
Okay, Ten Hag. Okay, so Ten Hag and Ten Hag is fucking with my money. Is he fucking with my money?
What do you mean by he's not winning games? What do you
So
mean
he's
by
fucking,
my
he's
money?
fucking with my money.
All right, yeah. Given the record that you have this season of him, it's honest.
Eric, I'm sorry.
You got to go, right?
You got to pack your bags.
I think if you ask any non-Man U fan, if you was in another boat, like let's say you was in Tottenham or any top, I would say 5 or 6 teams. If you perform like this, I think they'll say sack. Especially with the money you spent, what you got coming in, how you're doing in Champions League, I think you'd get sacked.
Bruh, every time I see United in Champions League, I always like,
You
damn.
think, Liverpool, huh?
We would have.
Could have been. It should have been us.
Exactly.
We would have done way better than this.
That's exactly what goes to my mind.
No, that's valid.
I'm just like, yo. But then I'm just stuck watching Thursday night games.
Yeah.
Which I don't watch because I don't watch Europa League.
Okay,
But
yeah.
Watching if I wanted to watch Thursday night games, I could watch Thursday night games.
Yeah.
But in terms of if I had a chance, if I had a choice to get rid of him or keep him with everything that I've seen, I'd say you gotta get someone else.
You got to, yeah. And if they get last place in Champions League, I don't want to hear no more debates. He's out. In my opinion, that's my take. He's out. If he gets last place in Champions League, for me, out. No questions asked, out.
Yeah, but you're like
don't say an extremist.
you're kind of an extremist because you're like Schmidt out.
No, Schmidt. No, Schmidt deserves to be out.
No, you want Schmidt's head on a steak as well.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. What? Are you crazy?
You want Ten Hag's head on a steak.
They could be next to each other. I'll put them kissing. I don't care.
Yo,
I don't care.
Yeah, but you
I demand excellence. Damn it. Is that so hard to ask for? Especially for a team that has the capabilities?
First off, that team has not
Back
been
in my day,
that team has not been competitive. Sorry, that team has not been a European powerhouse since 2013.
Not true. They won with what was it, Mourinho? Who did they win with? They won Europa League not too long ago. Yo, what? What? That has no weight to you at all? Like, come on, that has to have some weight.
It's a Thursday night game, man. It's a Thursday night game.
Come on, man. That has to hold some weight.
It's a Thursday night game, man. I mean, is Roma a European powerhouse? Answer the question. Is Roma a European powerhouse?
No, they're not. No,
all right, then.
No,
and they won the Europa League when?
Yeah, all
right. Then.
They didn't win it, actually, Europa League. They won it a long time ago. They won the conference.
Okay, whatever. Conference
There's
league.
a difference there.
Conference league.
There's a difference there. All right?
All right, whatever. They all just merged into one competition that doesn't matter to me.
What, the Super Cup? You know they merged into the Super Cup. They won Europa League Super Cup. So do you not care about the Super Cup either?
No, because they just get lobbed in. They just get thrown in there. Like, hey, you want to play for the Super Cup?
No. As in, like, the winner of Europa League faces the winner of Champions League, the Super Cup.
Bruh, and they always get steamrolled.
That's not true. That's not true. Porto won the Super Cup back in 2003. So what are you talking about? Actually, it was 2004, I think. But
anything else you want to talk about?
Nah, that's about it.
Any other things you got that's tickling your brain?
Nah, we didn't talk about Champions League, which is good because this was not a good week.
Do you want to talk about Champions League?
Nah.
Are you sure?
Not why. No.
Why?
Because Benfica. I don't think I have the heart to go through it. Nah, 3-0 up at halftime and then to draw. Nah, I don't think I want to talk about it. No, it's okay. It's okay.
We'll go over the games, right? We'll go. We'll see you next week.